The spirit medicine man of the Seneca was making magic. The night before he had led the all-night medicine singing, but he was not tired. He stood in a lovely valley and nestled in the mountains. This medicine man had suffered much to gain his great skill. He knew all of the magic rites, and he had even attended the dark dance of the little people. Spirit medicine man truly loved people, animals, and birds. For that reason, the great good spirit had granted him vast power. On this day, spirit medicine man had wonderful power. He made bright flowers flutter from their stems to join the butterflies. When a daring butterfly declared that flowers should not be allowed to fly, the medicine man changed this gleaming jewel of the air into a flower. The sunflowers begged to see a star, although the sun was still out. The medicine man raised his hand high to the east and the west, and begged the Great Spirit to grant the wish of the sunflowers. Almost immediately a great star shone brightly in the cloudless sky above the valley, and for the first time the faces of the sunflowers turned from the sun to a star. The heart of the medicine man was glad that day, and the birds and the beasts came to be caressed. Suddenly alarm spread among the wild things. They swiftly left their friend, and they hid in the trees and the bushes. A stranger was coming across the valley to them. The spirit medicine man was sorry to be disturbed. He wished to be far from mankind just then, and he had come to this hidden valley to seek solitude. Still he greeted the stranger with courtesy, hoping that he would go on his way. "O mighty spirit medicine man, I have traveled for many moons to greet you," said the stranger. "From the wise ones of the plains and the hills I have learned much magic. At last I knew all they could teach me. Then they told me that among the woodland people I would find a master of magic more powerful by far than they. He whom they spoke of was you. So come I to try my magic against yours. You will find that I too have great power," the stranger added boastfully. The spirit medicine man did not like boasting. Still, he believed the man must have considerable skill, or he would not have asked for a chance to test it. Well, he would soon see how powerful the stranger was. Perhaps in such a test he would learn something. Despite his great knowledge, spirit medicine man was humble and always willing to learn. "Friend, I did not come to this peaceful valley to try my skill against yours nor that of any other medicine man. But as you have come, let us make tests for the time that it takes the sun to travel the width of a lodge pole. Then you may leave with a happy heart. What, O stranger, will you have the test be?" "Let us try to move one of those mountains," suggested the stranger calmly. Spirit medicine man smiled. "You would start at the top and reach the bottom of magic making? All other tests would be too simple for magicians such as we are," said the stranger. As he spoke, he crooked his right forefinger, and two fully grown red foxes came from their den beneath a great boulder. One climbed onto his right shoulder, and the other onto his left. "Such a small test is easy for a maker of magic such as I," boasted the stranger. "This medicine I do not make often, because their tails tickle my nose," he confided. "The wild things must love you very much to come so close," remarked spirit medicine man. "They never leave me until they have my permission to do so." Spirit medicine man moved a pace closer to the stranger and crooked his left forefinger. Instantly the two foxes sprang from the shoulders of the stranger and landed on his own. "Go," commanded the spirit medicine man, as the foxes sat motionless on his shoulders. "Your tails tickle my nose." Silent as shadows, the foxes leaped to the ground and ran to their den. "Is your wish still to move a mountain?" inquired Spirit Medicine Man. "I would like to try," replied the stranger, but his voice was no longer boastful. "Try first," said Spirit Medicine Man, pointing to the mountain that was closest to them. "First, let us turn our backs to the mountain as we make our magic. It is good medicine to do so." They turned their faces from the peak, and the stranger stretched his arms out in front of him, hands open, palms up. "Come to me, mountain," he commanded. After a moment the medicine men turned to look. The mountain had moved slightly. Rocks were still rolling down its side. "Try once more," advised Spirit Medicine Man kindly. "Your medicine is powerful. You lack only complete faith, not skill." "After you have made the test, I will try again," promised the stranger. He was trembling violently. Sweat poured down his face. Again they turned their backs to the mountain. High above his head went the arms of the Spirit Medicine Man. A serene smile hovered on his lips. "Come," he ordered gently. Instantly there was a mighty rumbling. The ground at their feet shook. Spirit Medicine Man was calm and did not move. The stranger swung sharply around. His face struck the side of the mountain with a sickening thud, because the mountain now stood directly behind them. The boastful stranger had learned a hard lesson. His face and mouth were terribly twisted, and his nose was broken and hung to one side. From then on he was called Old Broken Nose. Spirit Medicine Man took pity on the stranger, and when his wounds were healed again he taught him how to care for sick people and to cure illness. But Old Broken Nose's face always remained twisted to one side. Soon the strange distorted face became a sign of healing, as Old Broken Nose often cured very sick people by blowing hot ashes over them with his twisted mouth. The women of the tribe made little masks resembling the face of the healer, and used them as charms, and the dance of the false faces was started in his honor.